Oh, I just set up the pop-out chat and the big Skype screen on my one monitor.
But I have everything, and we're live, so here
Oh,
we
wait,
go.
right now?
We're
Like,
live
Hi.
right
Hi.
now. Yes, I
Hi,
was
my
like, we're
stuff
going live right now.
I missed
Nice.
that.
It's okay.
Hi.
Because all the audio's on.
Yeah.
Confirmed. We're good. We're good. Every fucking time.
It's very, very nice little behind the scenes, right? That's super interesting. What do you have, Joe?
It's my
What does it
Java
say?
shirt says "fuck no" on it.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
I just want to know if the new toy jerks its thumb at Lando Calrissian and says, "This fucking guy."
It definitely says fuck that. I was listening to it like say it's chopperisms, and I was like, yep, I need that. I can't wait to buy that.
I'm excited to make a BD droid at Galaxy's Edge because I am trash. And I embrace it.
Listen.
There was a large fight between my children when we were there over whether we were making an R2 droid or a BB unit, and it was not pleasant.
Oof. What did they end up deciding on? How did it decide?
An R unit, because it has so much more customization stuff that they could pick. Because the BB unit is like 3 things, and that's it.
The BB, but
Anyway.
the BDs were added after, right?
Yes, they were not there when we were there.
Well,
Otherwise,
can you customize the BD units, or they come
No.
pre-made?
It
Yeah.
just comes in a box, that yellow one. You just have to paint it
Yeah.
yourself. Yep.
See, my
Anyways.
my kids aren't gonna know any about that because what's gonna happen when we go to Galaxy's Edge? I'm bringing home Chopper, and they have to live with that. That's just how that's gonna go.
We've had whole conversations about like how to handle like teaching our kids the difference between props and toys.
Oh, good luck with that, man. That's why I have all my shit locked out in the garage.
I mean,
My other child. I love him. I love Choppers so much. I'm seriously like, I'm weeks away from getting a Chopper tattoo, except like I'm not supposed to spend the money, but if it falls into my lap before I move, it's fucking happening. So anyway, all right.
Celebration news, y'all.
Well, hold on.
Oh, we're doing Mando first?
Yeah, we have to do Mando first.
Can I knock it out of the way?
We gotta get it out of the way. Episode 6.
I liked it.
I
Episode
really
6.
liked it too.
It was fun.
Man, this is weird. You guys aren't usually this big wrong about things.
So, well, hold on. I would just like to say where I thought this episode was gonna fucking go, I was wrong completely, 100%.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
I mean, I was not guessing that Lizzo was going to be in it. That was a pleasant surprise.
Or Jack Black.
Or Jack Black.
Or
I know, Joe, you were not a fan of the Jack Black cameo. I thought he was in there just enough to be fun.
It wasn't even the character. Like, it was just that it was Jack Black. It's the same issue I have with Danny Trejo being the Rancor Keeper. It's just so jarring that you go, oh, that person's in Star Wars, instead of, like, I don't know, diving in with the character. That was my issue. Like, I didn't mind the character, and I thought he actually played it, like, well enough, but it's just, Jack Black's just one of those actors. It's like, oh, it's Jack Black, you know? And I don't know, that just takes me out of it. So
I feel like he did a better job, at least, than Trejo, because I feel like Trejo was just there to be like, oh, look, it's Danny Trejo, whereas Jack Black actually was part of the plot and like did stuff.
Danny Trejo was part of the plot. The plot.
I didn't know it was Lizzo until the end credits, so I guess I'm old. I guess I am officially old.
You're not getting enough. You're not getting enough lingerie ads on TikTok, I guess.
well,
Got them? No, it's just Bo-Katan once.
oh yeah, so it's just all Bo-Katan fucking thirst traps. It was Jack Black and Lizzo thirst traps for a minute there too, but like I had a lot of issues with this episode. The cameos I thought were fun. My issues were like, we're on episode 6 of 8. Why are we spending like 30 fucking minutes out of like a 40-minute episode purely on like a filler plot? But on my second and third rewatch of that shit, I was like, this is just like a Clone Wars episode. Even with the cameos, I'm like, this stuff, like, if Jack Black voiced this character in Clone Wars, we'd be like, oh, that's fun, right? But
I liked how it built. Like, I liked seeing Din relax a little bit
You call that relaxing?
Yeah.
He's like,
That's
you had
how
me at
Clover
battle
Seed
droids. He was so
Yeah,
excited.
he was enjoying that.
He
That
was so
wasn't
Yeah.
relaxing.
happy.
That was
It-
a party for him.
He's like, this is
I
this
just
is my
love
shit.
that there's at least 6 times Bo-Katan is like, "What are you doing?
It's like,
Why?
bro,
Why are
can you
doing
not?
this?"
Din continues his himbo streak. Like he's just doing it, man. He's just like, I'm embracing this
People are
himbo-ness.
so angry that he's like not the main character at this moment. People are so mad about it.
No.
And like, stop being casuals. Mandos have been around for freaking 15 years before Din Djarin was around. Stop being casuals.
What
You're
was it
right. They should have added an S to the end of the TV show name. That's
They
what they
should've.
should have done differently.
Yes.
That's the only thing they should have done differently. Well,
Ju-
and not had a filler episode. But other than that,
Joe, what was it you said? It's okay to just admit you hate women?
yeah, there's a lot of people telling on themselves this week. A lot of people.
It's true.
Yeah, I didn't think Steve was gonna call me out that hard, but that's exactly what I said.
Doc
Just
Brown.
say hate women, bro.
I think
Doc-
use a name.
Doc Brown went back in time to Star Wars. He is the man in DeLorean. Oh, John. That was a very bad joke. That was a very, very bad joke. Christopher Lloyd's character, we are sad that he was not playing an old crusty Mando. However, the fact that he was playing like this separatist holdout was kind of funny. Like he had like a really good speech until she just fucking knocked him on his ass. Our queen.
I really expected that to go in more of a droid liberation, droids' rights direction.
I was a little sad it didn't, because it would have been the plot of my Star Wars role-playing game from 5 years ago. Longer.
There's still time. I don't know. Is it kind of weird that we thought that Din had this growth about droids and then he went back to like...
I think he still had some growth. He's just...
It's
He
at
just
this
having
point he
fun.
likes that
He was just
specific
having
droid.
fun.
But
Yeah.
well, no, the battle droids I get, but what about the bartender in the cantina, the droid bartender?
He was a little rude to the bartender. He was
yeah.
just doing a I told you
I mean,
so
but
thing,
he was
Bo-Katan.
speaking to them.
Yeah.
Like, he reasoned with it to an extent.
I think
He's
it's
got
funny
some
that
trauma.
anybody else is mean to droids and we like are ready to kill them, and like Din Djarin's a little mean to droids and we're like, it's just a personality trait.
I like the idea. I'm with John. I like the idea of the droid cantina. I thought it was a neat concept. It was like, it was kind of weird though that they couldn't figure out all this shit on their own. It seemed like, I mean, CSI, what is this place called? Plizar something?
Plizar 15.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it was. CSI Mandalorian.
Like they don't do anything. They just like, we're just. I mean, they're living the life. Really, they're just like drinking and partying and doing arts and crafts. Like,
and Grogu's
love
helping
it,
her
but-
cheat at croquet. That was like a very Mad Hatter, Queen of Hearts shit, by the
said-
way.
You saw
That was-
croquet. I was like, oh, they're playing space cornhole.
You know why? But it reminded me
Sure,
of it reminded me of Alice in Wonderland because they used live animals in it. That's why I was like, it's true. That kind of was like space cornhole.
Yup.
Things I liked. Lizzo's big projection-y crystal thing behind her was super fucking cool.
It was. You know, that whole planet kind of reminded me of a weird reflection of what Mandalore was like, because it was ruled by a duchess with this weird, ridiculous fucking outfit, right? They all had this like utopian society, right?
Bubble City.
Yeah, Bubble City. Like, we thought that planet was going to be a Mandalorian colony or a flashback when we saw it in the trailers. Nope. Nope.
Like, I fully recognize it was filler, and I understand, like, frustration with it, where it's like, okay, these episodes are not long enough for you to have a filler episode. I still love all the, like, Star Wars world building that we're getting.
Yeah, and that's why I think after watching it a couple more times, it grew on me more. And I feel like some of the things we saw in this episode will come back later. It will be like, aha, like Grogu getting knighted randomly. Like, here's
There was some like it was like weird too. It was sort of like a lot of like false veneer of a planet. Like there's a lot of like evil, shady stuff like just beneath the surface. Like obviously, like the stuff with the droid guy, but like there are security guards who can't have blasters but have giant axes. They're just stormtroopers with no helmets and with like half capes and like half ponchos over their stormtrooper armor. And then like he's ex-imperial and super rich. I'm sure that's not going to come back to haunt them at all with the first trying to do stuff. It was just like it was weird. Like there was just like this little eerie vibe underneath all of it of like
Do you think we
things
might
that could go
see
terribly wrong.
stuff getting set up for other shows?
I'm not discounting that for anything at this point. When we know they're connecting this and Ahsoka and other shows that they're gonna make, they were gonna.
I mean,
Rangers.
we know they're doing it. We know they're doing it because of Celebration news, but we'll get more into that later. But yeah, so just the extreme recap of this episode is the first scene is oh well, this is actually a fun fact. The first scene is the Mandalorian fleet now led by Axe Woves.
Where was he on January 6th?
Thank you, Steve.
They are getting a bounty. It's a, oh my god, now I can't remember what they're fucking called. The Quarren. The Quarren freighter. They're actually there to take a Mon Cal prince back home. Forbidden love story, blah blah blah. The Mon Cal prince, by the way, was the bounty that Din didn't take from season 1. So that motherfucker's been on the lam for years now, if we think about it.
He's been with his love.
Yeah, but he's like a child. He's like 16 or something. I don't know, though. He just sounded really young.
So he's Juliet then.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
That seems like it, right? So anyway, Axe Wolves is like, yeah, now we're taking you, and whatever, he takes it back. And then
I feel like that's gonna have to come back too. Just like the amount of time that was spent on that and it not coming back to the rest of the episode. Like I feel like it was more they wanted us to know that they've been mercenaries.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And that they've been doing shit for money.
And I think that'll become relevant.
Yeah. Yep. So then they cut to Bo and Din. They're going to find the fleet. They have to do this side quest for the Duchess and her ex-Imperial husband, Jack Black. They finally do that. Cut to the end of the episode. They finally go and meet with the fleet. And Axe Woves, Mandalorian nationalist, I don't know what else to fucking call it. It's like, we can't follow this Din guy. He doesn't have an ounce of Mandalorian blood in him, whatever. Bo challenges into a fight. They have a great fight. Great fucking, oh, it's a fucking cat. Great fight. Bo wins, of course, why not? And he's still like, I can't follow you because you need the Darksaber. And what happens then? We find out the Darksaber is like the Elder Wand.
I called it. What did I say whenever the little Grievous monster? I told Steve, was like,
You did.
Was like, Bo defeated the enemy that defeated Din. Therefore, she gets the Darksaber.
Therefore, she gets the Star Wars Elder Wand.
So, the episode ends with our girl holding the Darksaber. Now, not up in the fucking air like in Rebels, though. Out to the side a little bit more. So, there you go. And that's how it ends. And Joe and I are terrible people, and we fell into the spoiler mines this week, so we cannot even speculate openly about what the next week's episode would be. I will say that my hopes and dreams were the episode I thought we were going to get this week, we get next week. I will not confirm or deny if that's what happens. But the reviews online, I know, shame upon us. We couldn't help ourselves. They showed the whole fucking episode to people at Celebration. So immediately that shit got on the internet. Immediately. And we could not avoid that shit because we live on the internet. So we just had to accept our fate. It was like quicksand. I will say that the non-spoiler reviews that everybody's saying is this might be the best episode of the entire fucking series, not just the season.
Hold on. I'm gonna rebut that. Not because of what I know what's in it,
Yes.
because I know that these people saw this episode
I was about to- Yep.
on a giant screen.
Mhm.
And as somebody who has seen a couple episodes of Mando
That's
on
true.
a giant screen before, I can tell you they're being 100% biased in that.
That's true. But shit.
So I'm not saying it's not going to be a great episode, but I think that I'm not going to go with, oh my gosh, it's the best episode of Mando there is.
We don't know. We don't know. It was co-written by Favreau and Filoni, and it's directed by Rick Famuyiwa, who I think I finally fucking pronounced his name right. I'm sorry, Rick, if you ever listen to this fucking podcast of ours. I always
Well, we know
butcher it.
Dave does. He probably tells him every week that we pronounce it wrong.
It's true. It's true. So he actually directs the last 2 episodes. So we'll see. We'll fucking see what happens.
Dave.
I'm looking forward to it. It's about 50 minutes long, give or take the beginning recap and the credits and stuff. So it might be the sweet spot show around the
43 minutes.
43, 44 minutes.
You accept it.
Yeah. And we'll see what happens next week. But yeah, Joe and I can't talk about it. Not till next week. If Nikki and Steve would like to take any guesses about what's gonna fucking happen.
I would, but I'm not allowed to say it because Joe might break up with me.
If Bo-Katan dies, it's over.
All right, well, hold on. I will say this one
He's
thing.
putting this in the universe, okay?
There is a savior allegory happening here.
It is. Joe, I had revised my Bo-Katan death pool to like 0 when she decided to like be on Din's side, right? I was like, all right, she doesn't have the Darksaber. She's going through the motions. She's gonna help Din out. She's not gonna die now. Now she has the Darksaber again. She's gonna die. I'm sorry.
If she dies because Steve spoke this into existence, number 1, we're breaking up.
It won't be this
Number-
season. It's not
Number
gonna
two,
be this
the-
season.
Oh, it's gonna be next season if it happens.
The name of this podcast is changing to the Sad Batch, and I won't participate unless it does.
It will be a sad batch. We'll have a funeral for her. It'll be really sad because I will be sad. I don't.
What is wrong with all of you? I hate you.
But listen. We know. Yeah, magical swords being distributed is no basis for a system of government. It's true. You'd think they'd figure that out.
It's just one cult for another with these people. I mean, we've sort of known that. If you've been in Mandalorian culture long enough as we have, like everybody in this podcast, you know that there's a whole lot of weird stuff in Mandalorian lore and costumers, all of this.
Fandom.
So,
The EU stuff, the canon stuff, the fandom stuff. There's
one cult can take off their helmets, and the other cult you can only lead if you have one specific pointy stick. Like that's
Yep.
give
Yep.
me
It's a
poison.
Kui vote.
Yep.
Turns out
Hey, Vods! How's it
normal
going?
group of people.
So it'll be in Filoni's movie that she dies. That's very likely. All right.
Well, that's 6 years from now. So.
That's maybe. All right. We've talked about the episode. Let's go to celebration news. We can let's do the shows real fast. We'll go through the show Rolodex because we don't have any new stuff really there. Ahsoka's coming next. The trailer's fucking fire. Holy shit. Ray Stevenson and his apprentice, I forgot their character names, but they have orange lightsabers.
Her name is Luke.
Oh, Luke with 2 U's.
My God.
It's possible that she might be that like spooky. I can't talk to you right now. I'm busy. So Ahsoka trailer fire. Sabine with long hair kind of threw me, but hey, whatever. That's cool.
She's gonna have a Mulan moment.
That's true.
She's gonna take out the armor, cut her hair.
Thrawn.
Ron.
And
He looks like Blue Data.
So we only got to see like
That's that one bad picture.
again class war. We only got to see the trailer they released to everybody. So we only see the back of his head in that. But the second that we showed that, I got a screen capture of it. And then I searched the internet for a fucking picture of the back of Lars Michelson's head. And I was like, nope, It's him! It's him! I said that, and then the next day they had the Ahsoka panel. They showed the extended footage. Oh, wait, they brought him out on stage that day, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stacey's just had pictures of Lars Mikkelsen, the back of
I'm-
Lars Mikkelsen's head saved just in case.
Yeah, I fucking knew, because he's been on this press tour for, like, months saying, oh, I'm not involved, blah, blah, blah. He's a fucking liar. We all knew that he was going
Why
to
did they make them lie like that? Why did they make them lie?
Because they want the hype.
The funniest thing I saw is these NDAs are getting so crazy. At some point, someone's going to fake their death to prove they're not in a Star Wars movie.
Yep. So
You said Rosario got in trouble for mentioning Hayden Christensen a while back, right?
I bet she did, because it wasn't supposed to be known.
Because it was like almost 8 months ago now. The Hollywood Reporter reported that Hayden Christensen was in Ahsoka, and she quote tweeted it and said, "Sky Guy, they know."
Yep. And then within like a couple hours, that shit was gone, by the way.
Yeah, it's gone. And then MegaCon, they were supposed to have like a dual photo shoot together, Rosario and Hayden, and LFL made MegaCon cut it from the show.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah.
So
Do we think that's gonna be flashbacks or Force Ghost, or both?
Or the
I want both.
The Chalk Zone.
It could be flashbacks, Chalk Zone, or it could be Force Ghost, since this is post Return of the Jedi and Anakin is passed on and is a good guy again.
Could be any of those things.
I kind of like the idea of Ghost because we've gotten some flashbacks. Flashbacks was my thought originally, but now that there's some other options, I think I kind of love the idea of Force Ghost Anakin talking to Ahsoka.
My money's on flashbacks.
I like it, but I do also kind of want to see live action Jedi General armor.
Yep, I think that's what we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get a young Ahsoka, not played by Rosario, and we're gonna get flashbacks.
Oh my gosh, you're right. If we got Hayden in the Clone Wars outfit, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we'll see. We know. I don't know if we really saw the Chalk Zone in the trailer for Ahsoka. It looks more like something that's studying the Chalk Zone. They had like scaffolding and all sorts of weird shit in it. So it's like maybe it's like an observatory, like a projection to study it. I don't know.
With the glowing runes and everything.
Yeah, like an observatory kind of thing, right? Like where they study it without having to be in it. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Steve, now that we saw the leaked footage that us plebs didn't get to see, where we had an actual face shot of Thrawn, did they contour his Thrawn?
I feel like they contoured their Thrawn adequately, at least. I will need to see more of him to really assess that, though.
That's true. It was not a very good shot.
You need to contour your Thrawns, people.
Yes.
Like,
you can't just be Blue Man Group.
You can't just be Blue Man Group. You need to do some contouring, add some depth.
Yep. And we're getting Ahsoka in August. So yay.
Yeah. Do we know August?
No, they just
do we
said
have a specific
August.
date? Just August?
Yeah, just August. We'll know closer, I'm sure.
Dragon Con room watch party again, you think?
Probably for an episode at least.
Yeah, because it'll be at least by the end of Dragon Con, I'm sure it'd be out. So, yep.
Dragon Con's in September this year.
The whole thing is.
Fully.
Oh.
It always falls on my birthday, so.
Oh.
Maybe I'll get to go this year. We'll see.
You'll be much closer, I think, driving time-wise.
8 hours.
So about the same.
Yeah, roughly the same. All right, so that's next. I think the next thing, I don't know if we're going to get Skeleton Crew or Acolyte next. I think Skeleton Crew is done filming. They showed some footage of that, which we also didn't get to see as plebs, but we saw the pirated footage. It's very Amblin, like vibes, like E.T., The Goonies.
Stand By Me is what I've heard it described as.
I didn't get Goonies vibes, what made me happy, because I don't like the Goonies. So I'm glad I didn't get much Goonies vibes. I don't care. I'm not alone in this either. There's other people that agree with. So
I don't like Goonies either.
Oh my god!
I also
you know what it is?
like.
I'm older than all of you.
I like
my
the
age
Goonies.
Is showing. The Goonies is amazing. Also, one of those fucking kids. It's about like 4 kids that get lost in space. Jude Law is playing some kind of fucking Jedi, by the way, of some variety, Force user. I don't know, but he wouldn't have been. He couldn't. He'd either have been a very young knight or a Padawan during Order 66 or Order Wait.
Order 33.
Order 33.
Why is it called Order 33, Steve?
Because it was only about half successful, so they Order 33. Not to be confused with Rule 34. That's something else entirely.
No. Yeah. So anyway, one of the kids though is an Ortolan, a Max Rebo.
This is the most important part of this show.
Yeah. Except my husband was
Hands
like,
down.
"That's not true because he had all his different limbs."
I was about to say, how many limbs does he have?
But maybe when they're little, it's different, and then as they get older, their limbs change.
It's possible.
Or maybe Max Rebo has been like
Deformed.
Named.
No,
has a limb difference.
comic that came out at Celebration that has Max Rebo on it.
Oh yeah.
I'll go quote. It's a picture I sent you earlier in the chat today, and Pablo Hidalgo quoted it and said, "This is peak Ortolan physique, whether you like it or not. This is peak."
It's true. I like that tweet. Pablo comes out with some gems. So yeah, so that's Skeleton Crew. I feel like that's probably going to be next because it's done. The Acolyte still filming.
Confirmed for 2024 though.
Yeah. It looks fucking cool as shit. The leaked footage shows Carrie Ann Moss, Trinity from The Matrix, etc., doing some fucking Jedi martial arts.
It looks like a kung fu movie.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Great.
It's cool. There's gonna be a Wookiee Jedi, played by Jonas. How do you pronounce his name? It has the extra O in it.
Well, since watching a German TV show that has that guy's name in it, it's Jonas.
Jonas. Okay, there you go. There.
It's something like that.
And
No, that makes sense.
And if you don't know who he is, he's the one who's been Chewbacca now in the sequel trilogies. He took over from Peter Mayhew. So he continues to play a Wookiee, but now he gets to be a Wookiee Jedi, so that's cool. Yeah, the Acolyte is in the High Republic era, which I really had no fucking interest in at all until I saw like the Acolyte stuff. It looks cool as shit. So awesome. Well, I'm there for it.
Since they announced it, I've been saying the High Republic is going to be great for visual mediums.
Mm-hmm.
It's very striking. It's a very different look for Star Wars. It will be great for visual medium.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. The costumes look like awesome. All sorts of stuff.
I haven't seen anything from it, so I'm excited. I don't watch leaked footage.
It's sort of like too, like even if you're not like a fan of the High Republic, like you kind of have to get on board a little bit if you want to enjoy some of the stuff, because Acolyte is set in that era. Jedi Survivor, the bad guy, is a Jedi who's been like sort of frozen in carbonite since that era. Like, it seems like maybe those characters in Ahsoka have come from the world beyond or between worlds from that era.
That is an interesting theory. My husband doesn't believe it, but I'm with you.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially I don't feel like the High Republic has done very well.
It hasn't.
It hasn't? I thought they did really well.
This is what I always say about this. They're all bestsellers, but every Star Wars book is a bestseller, so that doesn't mean shit.
Just because people are buying them doesn't mean people like them.
I mean, the bestseller list is kind of bullshit.
Their panel at Celebration
Especially
was super full. Like, they were at the big stage, and it was full.
I think Gen Z likes the High Republic.
I do too. And we're old.
You're allowed to be wrong.
We're olds, and we don't get it.
Okay.
There's one... I only got halfway through the first book, but there is a Jedi who uses the Force to yeet his apprentice off a cliff like train him on how to fall properly.
I mean,
and I'm here for that.
But does he say yeet when he does it?
He doesn't.
Well, it's let down.
Missed opportunity.
I'm gonna listen to him on audio. I'm gonna listen to him on audio because I get a little tiny bit of FOMO about not knowing characters that show up in other things are. So I'm gonna listen to him on audio and give him a shit.
Just come to dinner at the Ale House one night and have Ben give you the synopsis. It's pretty great.
I might try again. I tried to get through the first book. I only made it through a few chapters. It was just not. It didn't pace well with me.
That first book, like the opening of the first book, is rough.
Yeah.
I might just cliff notes the first book and then just start listening to the ones.
Like the second half of the first book is okay. The first book, literally, I don't know. I've told you guys this before. It's like, it's the first third or half of the book. It is 12 different perspectives, maybe more, of the same literal 3 minutes Like, it's giving you a countdown. And you would think that would be fast-paced. It is a slog.
Yeah, I couldn't get through it.
Who
But
wrote
yeah,
that one?
Acolyte looks cool. We'll have to figure out more shit about the High Republic. We'll get there. We will be your token experts for everybody else who doesn't want to fucking get through it. We will find a way. Andor season 2 still filming. That will also be out 2024.
They show footage, but it's really like it was new footage.
But they're just walking.
It could have been stuff they filmed for season 1 they didn't use.
Right.
Like it's like all the same locations you've seen, like what's his name's crazy mom's kitchen and like just like stuff like that, like them sitting around talking basically with all the footage.
Bill Skarsgård in a wig. No, not Bill Skarsgård. What's the fuck? That's his son.
Stellan.
Thank you. Jesus.
Good job, Steve.
No longer wig. Yeah, they're all just walking. So nothing new and exciting there. We already knew it was going to end with this next season. It was a 2-season arc, so that's coming. Skeleton Crew might be Christmas into January. We might get like the Boba time frame for Skeleton Crew.
I got Christmas vibes from that. I'll give
yeah. So we might get that. They did not announce Mando season 4, but we know it's gonna happen. They did not announce Book of Boba Fett season 2. If it is gonna happen, I feel like the reason they didn't announce it is because it's gonna play into the Mando finale, so they don't wanna spoil anything.
Personally, I hope that doesn't happen.
All right, we'll see.
Just turn it into a season of the Mandalorians. That's all we need.
They should, but.
Like, we don't need a separate show.
Kathy Kennedy confirmed that the Lando show is still, like, in talks, but there's no production on it yet. So, that's still happening, in theory. All right.
Oh,
is that all
Rogue Squadron might still be happening.
As a show, maybe, even. I don't know. We'll see. I have my doubts. All right. That's all the show news, right? All the show news? Yes. Oh, Tales of the Jedi season 2 is coming. Bad Batch season 3 is coming. Did you guys ever finish Bad Batch?
No.
Good!
I finished Tales of the Jedi.
We'll talk about Bad Batch next week. Fine. Anyway, or Andor. You guys gotta get on that shit. Damn.
This weekend was both Easter and Passover. We were kind of busy.
I got it. All right, that's fine. All right, so that's all the show news. Oh, and Vision season 2 trailer came out, and that's cool.
I should care so much more about that than I do.
Listen, if you like even a few of them, then it's cool. Like, that's Vision season 1. I liked a few of them.
There's a few of them that were really cool, but overall, I'm just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, it's that because it's not canon. It's not canon, so it's like it's fanfic.
It's fun. It's fun for what it is. I'm glad they're giving other studios a chance to play with some Star Wars. Like, that's cool, but
I appreciate it as art.
I understand what you mean.
You know? But it's not canon, so it's not it's below tier. All right. Then we got movie news. 3 fucking movies. James Mangold doing Tales of the Jedi, Birth of the Force movie. Not Tales of the Jedi. Dawn of the Jedi. Dawn of the Jedi.
It's like the 10 Commandments of Star Wars.
That's what he framed it as.
Tentatively excited for that.
And Ben-Hur. Like,
he just means it's going to be big. I think like big, wide open is what he means, really.
Yeah. So it's to be interesting. I'm excited. Oh, and he's the one who's doing Indiana Jones 5, and the trailer for that looks fucking cool. Even if it's going to be an Atlantean time machine, which I said a long time ago. By the way, I said Atlantis, but time machine for sure now. So James Mangold does really cool shit. I mean, he did Logan. That fucking movie is so good.
Logan is the best comic book movie ever made.
Yeah, it's very fucking good. It's very
No,
good.
it's not.
It is, though.
No, it's not. Anyways, he also made Ford versus Ferrari, which me and Steve are huge fans of. So
yeah. So
I didn't realize that was him. Great movie.
Yeah, He's got a real wide range, so it should be interesting. So that's cool.
I have a theory there. I think that's the movie that they were trying to get Damon Lindelof to write and do.
No, he was attached to the other one. Yes.
The one?
The Ray one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. That was more like Damon Lindelof's speed, like that Dawn of the Jedi thing, I would think, but okay.
Apparently he pitched them this thing that... Alright, so we'll talk about the second one. The showrunner from Miss Marvel, and I can't remember her name, is going to be directing this movie, which is going to be taking place 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker, and it's going to be about Rey's new Jedi Order. Damon Lindelof apparently approached Lucasfilm with a very similar idea to what they were already kind of developing for this, so they all fused it together. And he's left the project since, and now it's being written by... Oh, shit. Now I'm blanking, but another pretty prominent writer is doing it now.
Relevant to this, the trailer for The Marvels comes out tomorrow.
Ah, yes, that's true. That's true. We haven't had Marvel news in a minute, too.
Joe looks frozen. Why are we...
Not frozen. I'm just holding my arms up. I'm just holding my arms up because Rey is back.
Rey is back.
Okay, I thought you were, like, raising your hand.
Do you think
Please,
she's
I
going
want to speak.
To a touchdown, but it was really just like me holding up my arms in excitement, waiting for one of you to think that I froze, and it was just me being excited that Rey's back.
Do you think Rey...
We don't fuck boys on this podcast, and Rey is back.
We don't validate fuckboys, that's correct.
Do you know what happens when we can... Let's we talk about it at the end. What happens when you fucking validate the fuckboys?
We'll talk about that at the end.
Yeah.
Do you think Rey is going to scream at her students like a tiny angry bird of prey?
No.
God, I hope so.
She's not going to yell at her students. Somebody's going to threaten her students. And she's just going to, like, kestrel on them.
She will absolutely get to use her amazing battle scream at one point, though.
Man, within, like, hours of them announcing that movie, Reylo started fucking trending on my Twitter again. I'm like, no, guys! No!
Do you guys think Adam Driver's coming back?
No.
No! No! There will be no Reylo! No.
You know Nikki's a Reylo.
I know!
Although...
I want it!
Adam Driver said he would like for people to forget that he was ever in Star Wars, but maybe this is just another elaborate NDA ploy.
It's another ruse! It's another ruse! I mean, or he's just really trying to fulfill his movie daddy's attitude, where Harrison Ford's like, yeah, I'll never come back to that shit I already did anyway, so.
The man was just in a movie about being an alien who lands on Earth to fight. No, I want to.
It's on digital streaming now.
It's on streaming now. I haven't watched it yet.
I really want to see it.
Good,
dinosaurs.
I heard it's
He
good.
cannot act like,
He is a very serious actor, okay?
He is.
I mean, he is, but he can have some fun stuff.
And one of those fun things can be Star Wars, so that he can kiss Daisy Ridley.
Fair, she's very pretty.
Guys, Rey, Finn, Grogu, Gunji, or we riot.
I don't think.
As a polycule.
There will be no Grogu in it.
How dare you? He'll be 91 years old at the point of this movie, and Yoda started training Jedi at 100 years old. Grogu's going to be there.
Nope.
Stop.
Do you think he'll have started speaking by then?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, if Yoda was training Jedi, I would assume he could speak to them, hopefully.
First of all, even though he's 50, I still don't think he's 50. Like, really. I think he was frozen for a large amount of time. But, so, he is 50, but, like, biologically, he's still... like a toddler.
My children cannot process this. It's a thing every week. It gets brought up. They're like, but how is he 50? I'm like, guys.
But also, I don't think he's gonna be in it because they're gonna let this Mandoverse shit go on for a long time, and they're not gonna want to tie him up into anything.
Wrong.
Well, we'll see. I might be wrong. I've been wrong clearly.
Of how much backlash there is already about them continuing Rey's story, they can bring in Grogu as their merchandise seller off the bat.
Just smooth that out.
Is he going to be a merchandise seller if he's an adult? No.
Yes. He's only 100. He's not an adult.
Right, but he's not going to be a baby. We like him because he baby, okay? He baby. But also...
Like Yoda, he wasn't a baby. Yoda was like a huge merchandise pusher.
It's different. Will there be Force Ghosts? We don't know. I really hope they fucking give Finn his the arc he deserved, by the way.
Yeah.
If they can get John Boyega to come back. That's what I really want out of this movie.
Absolutely. If I had to pick between Driver or Boyega back, I would definitely prefer Boyega back. Just like he deserves to be a fucking Jedi.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do with this. I mean, what's the enemy gonna be? How are they gonna go with this? Is it gonna be the Yuzang Vong? Because that's what I don't know.
I read an interesting take this week. Is that like this shouldn't be some like galaxy spanning conflict thing? Like that's why it feels like so. Someone was like, so because of the way that Luke Skywalker was in 4, 5, and 6, and then we didn't have any live action Star Wars content for so long, and now Disney's trying to fill in the gap of Luke Skywalker being a young Jedi with Mando. Like, don't do that with Rey. Don't blow all of Rey's cool time on galaxy spanning conflict. Like, make a movie with Rey doing small stuff, or like, you know, not small stuff, but just stuff that a Jedi does. Like I don't know. I'm not.
I agree with you. No, I agree with you.
Good article.
Smaller stake Star Wars.
Yes, what they should do with Rey so that they don't mess it up and have to 40 years from now for the next person who makes Star Wars be kind of like in that same position they were with Luke. You know.
Yep. We'll see how that goes. Out of the 3 that were announced, this is the one that excites me the least, but I'm still excited, you know, but it's like on the bottom of all these for me because I just don't know where they're going to go with it. And after what they did to us with the sequels, I'm very timid about it.
I think they learned their lesson in that it's going to be one director storyboarded out. God, I hope they learned their lesson.
I mean, it's one movie as far as we know. You know, it's only been announced as one movie.
I hope Ridley gets a producing credit, and they let her have some say on it.
I'm pretty sure the only lesson they've learned is that everything that went wrong is the fault of the kid who played Han Solo in Solo. Kathleen Kennedy said so. Like...
That's
That is exactly what she said. Good job, Steve.
It's true. Like, but she did.
It basically is what she said.
She passive aggressively kind of is like, man, we shouldn't have actors play. But then they love Lando. So is that true? They're just really mad at him.
Knew about Kenobi, you know, Ewan McGregor, who was a reboot of a character.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it literally was just a pot shot of the guy who played Han Solo. But whatever.
And I don't think he did that bad. But I mean, it's whatever. It is whatever. All right.
It was their shitty marketing department. They keep blaming him.
That's true. To me, I love that fucking movie still.
It's the best one they've released.
I think so.
It was fun.
All right.
I didn't want it.
I didn't either until we got it. Then I was like, shit, this is good.
Before we move on, I thought about something. So this Dawn of the Jedi movie has to take place on Ahch-To, right?
I think maybe we're gonna get maybe.
Ahch-To, the place where the first Jedi temple is, where Luke is in The Last Jedi.
That's what's What? Are you saying the Rey movie has to take place
the Dawn of the Jedi, the James Mangold one.
Oh, I hope not.
It's gonna have
said it's the discovery of the Force. He didn't say it's the first Jedi temple.
That's true. It might be proto Jedi.
I thought I saw something about the founding of the Jedi.
I mean, if it's called the Dawn of the Jedi, you would assume.
It's not called that. It's not.
But that era is.
But that's what they're referring to it as.
But that's what the era is, yeah. But that's not the name of the movie.
He said when the Jedi gets there, there is a civilization of porgs.
Yes. I fucking love porgs. So I'm about that.
Up to here with porgs.
I don't want any of that, and specifically because our guys chat has been scheming this exact movie for like 5 years, and really what it needs to be is
Ricotta?
Get in, bitch, we're doing Jedi shit. Like that's what
is it gonna be with Ricotta in it? The Ricotta Empire?
Someone brought up the Ricotta, so
okay.
But
Joe hates Ricotta.
Yeah.
I mean
one of our other chats is named the Ricotta Gang plus Joe, and I'm like, how do you know about our other chat, Stacey?
What?
Do you know about Joe's sins against cheese?
No, what? No, I don't know about any of this.
Joe puts cream cheese in ziti.
No, I don't. Oh my gosh.
Stacy looks horrified.
I don't.
She looks more intrigued.
I am intrigued. Hold on. I'm intrigued by this.
No.
That's all you need to know.
All right. But I mean, all right. I'm going back to like I mean, is it gonna be like with the comics because the Wakanda Empire was in that? I don't know. We're gonna find out. All right.
I don't think it's gonna have any of that. I think it's gonna be just very early Galaxy Star Wars stuff.
All right, I'm about it. Let's fucking see it, all of it. I'm cool with it. I'm excited for that. The one I'm most excited for, of course, is Dave Filoni finally getting his own fucking movie. And it's his
Avengers movie.
It is going to be Star Wars Avengers, basically. Because it's going to be all the Mandoverse shit that's going to tie together. Oh, I forgot to mention, in Skeleton Crew footage, we saw Vane, the pirate that just fled from Mando.
We're not surprised by that.
No, we're not surprised by that. But basically, all these shows, we know are going to all connect together, right? Is Thrawn going to be their mega threat? I don't know. Not if they're true to Thrawn.
So, in new canon, Thrawn had been trying to warn the Republic / Empire of an outstanding threat in like the Beyond regions.
Is that the Yuzang Vong?
And never really got the chance to. I don't know. I didn't read the very last Thrawn book that came out, so maybe he did get the. I don't know, but maybe that's what the final conflict is?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like that'd be a weird thing to throw in that time between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens without it being discussed in the sequel trilogies. So
unless it all takes place outside in those unknown regions, right? Or whatever they're fucking calling it now. So it's not really a factor like the main part of the New Republic, because clearly that government's a fucking mess and they don't have any fucking clue.
It's got to be Thrawn, right? Like, they don't drop the heir to the Empire quote, like the actual quote, without Thrawn being the main thing for
this
universe,
movie,
right?
Though. In the movie? Because that's a long time away. I mean, it could be.
He's going to be the main threat for Ahsoka.
For sure.
And more. He's getting more. They're not going to take out one season of Ahsoka.
Right. Well, and I don't think he's going to be the one that ends up, like, he'll be in Ahsoka, clearly, but I mean, the main villains, I think, for her in this season are Morgan Elsbeth, and the two Dark Jedi, or whatever they are, Ray Stevenson and his apprentice. They're the ones she'll actively be fighting. Thrawn is just kind of going to be around, so that's why I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but this is the movie that I'm so excited for, because we know we're going to get Mandalorians in it. We know we're going to get all the fucking characters we love in it. So to me, this is my comfort place, because I know what we're going to get out of this one, and it's going to be what we want. And I think it's bringing Dave one step closer to being named Kathy's successor when the time comes, because he's going to have all these different experiences under his belt to take over for her. So
I'm excited for that. I'm not sure we're getting more than one season of Ahsoka. Do you think we are?
Rosario was saying at Celebration that if it does really well, she hopes that there's going to be a second season.
I always figured that it was going to be more limited series than... I
just think that they need to change the name of these shows after this. Like, these shows are all going to unify and come together. These characters are going to be crossing over into the other shows. Like, they might need some different names for these shows. Like,
yeah.
Because I don't think that by the time Dave's movie comes out, there's going to be a shit ton of Mandalorians. I think we're going to have wrapped up the Mandalorians plot, and then you're going to have Din and maybe Boba and maybe one or two others that are like in the crew. But like eventually it's going to be Din and Ahsoka and Ezra and Hera. Like, it's going to be that crew together fighting this threat, you know?
Yeah. Though... So, like, I know that she said it was going to be, like, 6 or 7 years that he's been working on this. And I think we kind of misconstrued what she said, that it's been 6 or 7 years that they've been working on this. So if we go back to the beginning with 2019 when Mando started and count from there. No, you think it's 6 and 7 years from now?
They've reiterated that they're about 5 or 6 years out from that.
Wait, is it going to be the first of those movies to come out, or is somebody else's movie going to come out first? Well, I guess she said the Rey movie is going to be turned in 6 weeks, the writing.
That's the one that's the farthest along as far as like actual movie and development.
Didn't Iger tell them they needed to have a movie out by the end of 2025?
They still have that slot for December 2025.
Then it's probably going to be the Rey movie.
That is so soon.
No, it's not. They crank out fucking 9 Marvel movies before that comes out.
Yeah, but Marvel isn't a shit show.
Well, that depends on who you ask.
I mean, compared to how it was 5 years ago, it is. But
yeah. So it might be the Rey movie. I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll fucking see. But all the news that came out of Celebration is exciting. I'm excited about it. Hagen, I swear to fucking God, you better get down from there. Holy shit.
I feel very positive about pretty much everything that they announced at Celebration. I have to give them credit.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yep. These 3 movies are like, they're doing sort of like a, if you consider Mando versus the present, they're sort of doing like a past, present, future thing with the movies, which is kind of cool. I like that. It seems like these are the 3 movies that are the most likely to get made and not canceled.
Like, that's the other thing.
When James Mangold made Indy and then basically pitched this movie to Kathy on set of Indy, and she said, "Yeah, let's do it." Like, I don't feel like that's one that they're gonna lose James Mangold. You know, like they've lost some other directors or had issues with other directors. I feel like he's got some area to play with in that era, especially.
Yeah.
So I feel like all 3 of these movies, like, these were safe bets to announce because they already had Daisy on board like a couple months ago.
It's true. She kind of hinted at it, didn't she?
She's rocking that short hair.
Oh, like she flew from London to LA to have lunch with Kathleen Kennedy. Like, we all knew they were doing something, you know.
It's true. It's true.
They were the safe movie announcements, but I feel like they're actually going to happen, and that is good, you know, compared to some of the other stuff that's happened the last couple of years. And then the show stuff, all the show stuff is already either wrapped or is in the middle of shooting. So
yeah, they learned to not hedge their bets with shows anymore.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think they even wanted to say a word about Lando or Rogue Squadron, but when
it was brought up in an interview.
When Kathy has to sit down with 10 different entities after the main panel thing and do interviews, like, you know, they're going to push that agenda a little bit. So
100%.
She did. They still want to do it. They're just working with Donald Glover on a time and a setting. And she said that Rogue Squadron is something that they are still talking about doing. They just have to figure out the way to do it, which to me sounds like not Patty Jenkins, but
right. I think
That's
so.
my guess.
I think so too. Also, Don Glover did say in an interview recently that he still really wants to do Lando, so I'm pretty sure that it's gonna fucking happen.
I want it so bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking cool when they ever fucking get to do it, but hopefully soon. I think he's done with Atlanta, which is the show he's been working on, or it's on its last season now. They're working on it, so after that he might have. Oh, he's doing the Community movie though too.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay. I love fucking
6
Community.
seasons of movie.
Oh, Cal Kestis. Yeah, Josh was also replaying Jedi Fallen Order right before this podcast, as a matter of fact, and I made him stop because it was eating all the bandwidth and there was a huge delay, so we had to stop. But that game comes out, the sequel to that comes out the 28th. But if you don't have a next-gen Xbox or a good PC, like my husband, he doesn't either.
Next week.
I told him when we move and sell the house, then he should invest in a new Xbox, you know.
Joe, you can just come play it on my PS5.
Ew,
PS5.
I don't need an Xbox. I have a gaming PC.
I know, but a PS5.
Either.
So I bought a PS5 because that has games I can't play on my gaming PC.
Okay, so my phone's gonna die, and
we're getting close. That's right.
30, so.
That's true. All right. So We can't do predictions for next week. At least Joe and I can't.
Yes, we can. It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. That's true. That's true. If you go back a few episodes, actually just a couple episodes of this podcast, and you hear my theories, I might be proved right about something. Or I might be terribly wrong. But I'm telling you what, I will come back next week and I will wave my fucking flag of which one it is. Because it's going to happen. Anyway, that's all I got on next week. So I'm excited for it, though.
I'm hesitant to make any predictions because I don't want to see like the answer on y'all's face. You know?
I will have no.
I'm talking to friends for 3 days about this now, so I'm good.
Yeah, I can hide it.
I don't know what my predictions are.
I
don't have the brain power for predictions right now.
Stone-faced.
I think that it is going to be a musical. I don't think people were fucking with us when they said that.
This is the musical episode. You're right.
That
can confirm. Spoilers.
We're gonna get the Macarena, like Mando's doing the Macarena. Just
yep.
I think
from Disney when they had Star Wars weekends, exactly like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Just Dance Star Wars.
Yeah, that was a classic. They should bring that back. They should bring it back.
They should. I missed out on it, and I want to see it.
Just wait.
Oh, we didn't even talk about new Star Tours. All right, we gotta.
All right. New Star Tours is coming, and Celebration 2025 is gonna be in Japan. Holy shit! All right, that's it.
Hey,
we're done.
Nobody's on themselves, but there's a whole lot of prison fetish at Celebration this weekend. It's really weird. That's all I got.
One way out. See you next week. Next week.